So, I am recording this because I have a point that I have to get across. I feel I have to get across for a lot of people that will not voice it. So, this is my first rant, so I want you to also leave your comments below because I need to know how I did. I don't think it's going to be very good. Anyway, the main topic of my rant tonight is going to be rude people in fast food slash minimum wage jobs. You know what I mean. Alright, so for any of you that don't know, I work at Quiznos sub in my hometown. I'm not going to say where it is in case there's any creeps out there. So, I work at Quiznos in my hometown. I'm a supervisor. And I've been there for 2 years and 7 months. 8 months. Ooh. 2 years and 8 months. So, in that 2 years and 8 months, I have noticed that there is a very, very large amount of people that are not very polite with us little people in the world. And that doesn't just mean like if you're in fast food. That means if you like pump gas or if you work at a convenience store, like minimum wage jobs like that. Even at like Walmart or grocery stores or whatever. So, I have noticed though that there are people that come in and they are really super nice if they're late or whatever, if they're coming in near closing, if we are out of something, they understand. And it's always the people that are nice that have worked in one of those positions before. So, I think that it should be a law that everyone in the whole wide world should have to start their lives working in a position like many people are, so that they understand whenever they're getting their sub or getting their burger or whatever, they know what that person that is giving them their food slash coffee slash pumping their gas, they know what they're going through. They know what they have to deal with. I think that that should be a rule, a law. Yeah, let's do it. The next topic is closing times. Now, this is a very touchy topic with me. Quiznos closes very early where I work, and a lot of people don't seem to realize that. They also don't seem to realize that there is a sign clearly posted on the door that says the store hours. So, people that go into businesses and restaurants 5 minutes before close, what is wrong with you? How would you like it if you were at work? Let's say you work in an office or at a factory or whatever. Let's say it was 10 minutes to quitting time. You're all psyched up because you get to leave soon, and then your boss comes up to you and makes you stay an extra hour. That's what it's like. Except it's not your boss that's coming up to you. It's some rando that makes you stay late. Not necessarily an hour in fast food, but still, if you come in 5 minutes to close, I'm ready to close. I have everything ready to go unless I've been busy. The floors are all clean. I have to remop those. The stuff is all wiped down. I have to re-wipe it down. The dishes are done. I have to re-wash some. 5 minutes to close. In my opinion, 20 minutes to close. That should be the cutoff time. I do not go into a business if they are within 20 minutes of closing, because I know what it's like to be so ready to close, have everything done, and then bam, guess what? You're not leaving yet. So, be mindful of the time when you go into a place like that, because it is not very polite to go in 5 minutes to close, in my opinion. You do what you want, but this is my opinion. Coming from someone that's down at the bottom of the pyramid, read the signs in the restaurant slash store. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. Whenever I go into a restaurant that I have never been to before, or I walk in and I notice things are different, the first thing I do is read every sign I can find. Every sign that I can see, even if it's irrelevant, I read it. Because you don't know what's on that sign. It could be vital information. For example, if we run out of something at my work, we put up a sign where they order so that people know so they don't order it. But do people ever read the sign? Nope. Like, where do you order? There's a sign hanging right above the order thing that says order. So go where it says order. There's a sign right there that has the list of vegetables on it. I'm talking about my workplace here. I don't know what it's like anywhere else. But there's a sign right in front of the vegetables, what vegetables there are, and people are constantly asking what we have. So please, just read what you can, because it gives you information that you will probably need in the ordering process. It's like, what would you like on it? Oh, well, what do you have? Well, if you'd kindly read the sign right in front of your face, then you'd probably know. But no, I'll read off all 10 veggies to you. That's cool too. So just make sure you read the signs, please. Next, waiting in line and people walking out while they're waiting. Where I work, a lot of times you are working alone. And completely out of the blue, you can get 10 people walk in. And if you're working alone, that's not exactly very fun. So, what I try to do is get 3 people order and then ring them through. 3 people order, ring them through. If there's 1 person left over, they usually end up walking out. And I can't control that. I'm 1 person trying to serve 20. So if you do walk into a place, there's 1 person working or 2 people even, and it's really busy, don't just walk out because you're impatient and you think, oh, they're too slow. They're serving 20 people. You just came in at the wrong time. Don't blame them. Don't get mad at them. If you end up having to wait and you do stay, don't get mad at them. Don't be cranky with them. It's not their fault. They didn't ask for 30 people to walk in at the same time. They didn't ask to be working alone. I'm just saying, like, I've had people walk in and walk out and yell as they're walking out because I was too slow. Well, I'm sorry, but I was trying to take care of the 6 people ahead of you. I'm sorry I didn't bring you food on a silver platter the second you walked in the door. But I've got other people that have been waiting here longer to serve. So just think about other people. Think about what that person is feeling as they're serving the 50 billion people that are ahead of you. Because I'm sure they're not thinking like, sunshine, rainbows, yay! No. They're really not. And they're not really in a good mood to begin with because of all the people. But you parading out of there, yelling at them, or being cranky at the cash or whatever is not going to help with their mood. So just be patient, please, because it's very annoying. Next, cell phones. This has been brought up a lot, actually. When you are in my workplace, we constantly have people, especially now with texting and all that walk up to the order sign and they stand there and they're talking on their phone, and you have to ask at Quiznos, we have to ask you like 6 questions when you are ordering to make sure that we don't screw up your sub. We make sure it's the right size, the right bread for here to go. We have to know this stuff. So if you're standing there talking on your phone and your sub gets screwed up in the end, don't be mad at us. We were trying to get your sub right, but you did not seem very interested enough to care enough to turn off your phone for 5 minutes while you waited for your sub. If you're going in somewhere to order, don't be standing there talking on your phone the whole time, or even texting. That's annoying too, because I've asked people questions 8 times and they still haven't heard me because they're too busy typing away on their iPhones or Blackberries or something. It's really rude to not pay attention to the person that is trying to communicate with you and make sure that they get your order right. So just, if you're going in somewhere, don't turn off your phone, but hang up the phone, or tell your friend who you're texting you'll be back in a minute. I'm sure they won't murder you. We just want to get your sub right so that you don't complain in the end, as most people do. The final one, service with a smile, question mark? Not all the time. I know that you walk into a restaurant and you're like, oh, this person should be super happy to make my sub. They're going to be smiling the whole time. No, don't expect that, because it doesn't happen. How would you like it if you had to stand behind a counter and constantly smile? I'm sure you wouldn't be too happy. It's not fun. Just stand there smiling the whole time? No. And also, you are people, you have feelings, right? I'm assuming most people do. So, if you have a bad day, would you want to go to your work and have to sit there and smile the whole day? I don't think so. Especially not if you sit in an office in a cubicle. That'd just be weird. If you had to sit there and smile all the time. Now, I understand if you're in an office like that, you don't really have to deal with the general public all the time. But still, like, people in food service can have a bad day and not want to smile too. Par exemple, last Saturday, my best friend moved away. I had to work that night. Do you think I was smiling the whole time I was making people's food? Nope. It's not always easy to smile when you're serving people, especially if they're rude. So, little factaroo. If someone's rude to you, do you really want to be really super nice to them? No, you don't. So, back to the lessons that we learn in kindergarten, children. If you want respect, you have to give it to get it. So if you want your barista or your gas pumping guy to be nice to you and respect you and smile, maybe give a little back to them. Because I think they deserve it, putting up with all the people that have not been in their position, do not know what they are feeling, and have not had to deal with rude people like you are being. Not saying you. No, I'm not saying you're being rude. But a lot of people are. That is my rant. Leave a comment below, tell me how I did. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for random stuff. Mostly singing, but there's going to be some other random stuff coming on soon. So yeah, subscribe, comment, rate, share. You know what to do.